flying. Nah, I'm joking, man. All right, yeah, you know the deal. MIC Podcast, episode 199, where everyone is a master of their own creation. Our guest today is the owner of All Things Aligning. They help businesses with social media management, marketing strategies, just marketing in general, business support, pretty much anything any good business would need. We have Aaryn Griggs in the building. And what's going on?
Hi.
What's up? What's up? Thank you so much for coming through. I know you got a lot going on, so we appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you. I'm
Absolutely.
happy to be here.
No,
So
no,
thank
man.
you.
Thanks for coming through. Just kind of before we get into anything, is there anything that you're grateful for? Like any wins that you may have had in like the past few weeks, months, kind of when 2025 was closing out.
I would just say I'm grateful to see another year and for the people who are now like starting to come to me and asking for help and support, because I feel like a lot of the times like it's hard to ask for help.
Yeah.
And it's even for me hard to ask for help. So this year, that was like kind of my prayer going into the new year, was like allowing me to be more open to ask for help.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool seeing other people now kind of, asking for the support and help as well.
Yeah,
Even though
for
that was
sure.
a personal prayer, it's like
I was gonna say like
other people struggle with that too.
for sure, yeah. Like I was even gonna ask, like, was it like help just on like a business standpoint or just like a personal?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like to do, sometimes I just take on too much.
Yeah. I mean, naturally,
And
yeah.
I'm like,
Asking for help really is one of like the hardest things to do.
because it's like you don't want to be vulnerable.
Seem weak and all
so-
that, but you gotta ask for it when when you can. But just so hopping into it, are you from Pittsburgh originally?
Yes.
Okay,
Born and
okay.
raised in Pittsburgh.
What part?
Gibsonia area.
Okay.
Wexford, so
Got you.
over that way, kind of north. I went to Hampton High School.
Okay.
Graduated from there. And then I went to college out in California.
Yeah. I saw that you went to
Yep.
college out in LA, which we will get to. But yeah, how was life growing up for you in Gibsonia? I've been out to Wexford like sparingly, so like I'm kind of familiar-ish with with the area. But yeah, how was it growing up for you out there?
I liked it, honestly. Yeah. It wasn't too bad. I was the only like
I was about to say
color.
it's Wexford, baby. It's Wexford, baby.
Yeah. So there was maybe like two of us, and we were like the only two girls like on the basketball team.
That's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, it was wild.
Like in your grade or like not the school, right?
No, in this. So two of us in the school. One
crazy.
I was the only one in my grade, and then my friend was the one in her grade. She's a year younger than me, and then my sister was a year older than me, but she had left. She had went to a private school.
Ain't that like? Isn't it kind of crazy? Like, because like if you're like another student, you're like, damn, there really isn't any. How come there's not a? We never won basketball games and shit. Like, what's going on? Yeah,
I know. So, but we actually, so when my sister went to her school, I had the opportunity to go, but I was so social.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to leave my friends.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, I'll stay. And then throughout that year, I was like, why did I do this?
Yeah, man.
Like, it's just another, like, more struggles, like, just dealing with different people and all that.
Of course.
So the next year, I was like, I want to go to, like, send me to this school, send me to the same school she's going to. And it was almost like too late.
Right here with the mic.
It was like kind of too late at that point.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just stay, finish out the 1 year I have left.
Okay.
Just stick it out.
Yeah, just kind of write it out. Yeah, no, I mean,
because I knew I had a desire in my heart to go to California.
Yeah.
So it was just crazy, just how my whole story kind of
came together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, only person. I mean, like one of two people of color in your school is crazy. Is that's nuts. Like it can just kind of frame your whole worldview coming outside outside of high school. What I mean? So like that's definitely an experience.
But I would say I was blessed also as well, just for my parents, because they were trying to give us the good education and all
right.
that.
No, of course, right, yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah, sure, yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, like, sounds like you made your way, just fine. So you gotta just find different ways to survive and navigate that. But it just seems like you've had just like an affinity for like organization and like management. So like, is that like when you realized that about yourself? Like, well, let me ask, when did you realize that about yourself?
I would say it wasn't really the organization and management part as much as it was wanting to help people.
Okay.
So I think I realized that when I was in California. So my oldest sister, I have two sisters, and my oldest sister, she was living out there. That was the only reason I was able to go because my mom was like, "You have family out there."
Fair enough.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so but her best friend also was out there at the same time, but she had two little kids, so I nannied for them.
Okay.
And I was kind of realizing like, oh, like they need help with just certain different things around the house, but her husband also played in the NBA,
Okay.
so they needed like if they were doing events, they would kind of.
Who's her husband? Anyone?
His name was Ryan Gomes.
Okay, gotcha.
He played for
Okay.
the Celtics and
Okay.
Clippers. But she just so that's kind of how I got started into like creating flyers and stuff. And then my sister and her, did some stuff. So they wanted me to help them with some social media. So that's how I got into that.
Okay.
But it was just always rooted in helping and
Yeah, for sure.
supporting
Yeah.
them. And then I realized I'd like social media. So that's
Yeah.
how I kind of got into the marketing.
Okay.
And that's what I went to school for too.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so but it wasn't like a I'm super great at organizing, and like I know that about myself. We're just like
Yeah.
like I just want to
Yeah.
just kind of help people out where they need it.
Where they need the help.
Copy.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. And then so, just even noticing that about yourself, like, did you know kind of where you wanted to go from that moment, or like was it still kind of like a figuring out process for you?
It was still a figuring out process. Since I was in school for communication and public relations.
Hey, me too, man. Well,
Yeah.
communications.
Yeah, so since I was in school for that, I had different classes of, different what's that word called?
Classes for like your major or something like
yeah,
that?
like
Okay.
different like a social media class.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
In social media class.
I
like
think
an
core
entertainment-
classes, I think.
core class,
Yeah.
So it took like I honestly thought I wanted to be an entertainment lawyer.
Yeah.
Quickly figured out that wasn't for me.
That's a crazy bracket too.
Yeah, so that was one of the courses. So just different like
Right up the mic.
realms. Sorry, you
No.
guys.
Trust me, everyone does it.
So I've lost my train of thought.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of taking the core classes for your.
Yeah. So then, I was still like nannying, doing all that. I took a films class, and that's when I like realized that film was never just like what it was, which is why I started my event series, Capsules of Culture.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was after school because I had to come back from COVID.
Yeah.
COVID happened, so I had to come back home. Which I think was a blessing, and God being like, LA's not for you. Come back.
I kind of had a similar experience, like when COVID kind of got me out of Colorado. Like, not that I had a bad experience out there, but it's just like it kind of reset me.
Yeah.
Like when I didn't necessarily know I needed it. So
yeah, so that's exactly what happened. So I think if I stayed in LA, I just wouldn't have been where I am today. So I think that was like a reset. Came back, but I was still nannying. So when I did that for maybe like 2 years. And then the family I was nannying with moved. Sorry, this is a long, drawn out story.
No, please tell your story. No. Tell your story.
So when when they moved, my friend was working for an organization, and she was like, and I've seen their organization around too, and I was like, oh my gosh, like that'd be so cool to work for them, but they weren't hiring in the they weren't really hiring at the time, but they had one position open, but it was with kids.
Okay.
But it was still, it was like creating programs for the youth in the neighborhood to come to.
All right.
And nobody wanted it. So I was like, I'll do it. Like, that's how I kind of got into the event coordinating side.
Copy, okay.
Because I had that background with helping youth. I assisted a youth minister at one point. So... yeah.
Yes, like that's pretty much how it kind of at least
yeah, like that's how it kind of formulated.
Yeah, okay.
And then I realized, I like event coordinating.
Okay.
I like doing this. I like creating programs for people, especially when it helps the people. Because if people in the community, they needed it was like kind of like financial literacy programs, like mental health programs, stuff like that we would bring in facilitators, and like different educators to kind of teach the kids and the adults as well.
Got you.
So.
No, I mean that makes a lot of sense. And, you already mentioned, going to school. I'm in Cali, LA specifically, which I think is just a great city to go to school in, man. That's wild. I could not, if I was in LA for school,
Oh my
I don't
goodness.
know. I don't think school would have quickly faded away. It would have just quickly not been a thing anymore.
Yeah, no, it was definitely. I think it was difficult because first of all, my school was so small. There was maybe like
What school did you go to, by the
it
way?
was called Woodbury University,
Okay, okay.
but it was so small because I just was like I want to go to LA, so I just found like a school that was out there, applied, and I got
What
in.
about LA was like kind of calling you? Would you say like
It
is
was
it the
a
town?
lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like I at the time I was
It's that
so
Cali
about
vibe,
yes, like
man.
I loved the beach. I loved celebrities at that time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I just wanted to be in
It's
it.
that Cali vibe.
You
No,
know?
no, 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 no. I hear you.
So I was like, I want to go to LA and I want to do public relations because I want to help like um people tell their stories, or if they get in trouble, like kind of get
Tell
them
them
out of
what
it.
not to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
don't say
yeah,
this, like
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
it
yeah.
was cool though.
What about your experience out there? Because like I know that was just like a very big experience for you, just overall. So like what about your experience in college, or just like your experience in California, like cement you, or like cement your resolve in what you ultimately wanted to do.
Mm, I think it was just so during school, because our campus was a dry campus, so we couldn't like do anything. So we would have to go on
Yeah,
campus to do it. So most of the time, me and my friend just stayed in the like dorm rooms and
yeah,
talked about different things and did
sure,
homework and stuff like that.
yeah,
So we had a class, and it introduced us to all the different what is it? All the different jobs in the industry.
yeah. Okay.
Is that kind of what you're asking? Like what made me?
Yeah, yeah. Just like what
Sorry, I was like
with your
speaking too
no, you're fine. Like with your experience out there, it's just what about maybe your major, or just like what you realize about yourself, just like cemented you in taking this path to like event coordination, and like starting all things line and all that stuff. So
So, again, I think it started with me thinking I wanted to be an entertainment lawyer,
yeah,
then realizing like, okay, maybe I don't want to go to law school.
yeah.
Like maybe
It's
it's
also
not
very
like for me.
law's also very tedious too.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I had the desire in my heart to help people.
No.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to law school. And even if it's not an entertainment law, like I'll still do some type of law where I can help people get out of whatever they're in
Yeah.
and like give them justice. Um So, but when I was taking that class with the different jobs in the different industry,
Mm-hmm.
I realized that I could also do something similar. Like even if it's nonprofit work,
Yeah.
I'm still helping somebody.
Sure. Yeah.
So that kind of made me like switch my thinking
Okay.
as to, like what I wanted
Okay.
to do.
Yeah, just kind of like opened up your
Yeah,
perspective
open
a
up my
little bit.
perspective,
Yeah, for sure.
especially with the films class that I was talking about earlier.
Okay, yeah.
Because we would watch films and just study them and like, oh, why did they use this type of lighting, or
Yeah.
why do you think they use this line at this specific time?
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of is what got me to do the capsules of culture and doing like the 90s movies and having that be the theme, and then taking the themes from those movies and making it into an event.
Yeah. Which I remember you telling me about that. I
Mm.
think when we even first met. Like I don't know if you did you have it going on then, or like was it just like kind of still in the idea phase? Cuz like I remember you telling me about that. It was we were at the Pop District for an event.
Yes.
And yeah, like it was just like kind of like the after.
Yeah, I think it probably had to be, especially I think it was last year.
Okay.
So I definitely did a few leading up to that moment when we did meet.
And just for before you get into it, just for people who don't know, if you just want to describe what the event is and,
Yes.
and everything. Yeah.
So Capsules of Culture is an event series that I do under All Things Aligning, where I take movies from the 90s and early 2000s, and I kind of take the themes from those movies and I make it into an event. It's called experiential marketing. So I take the themes, turn it into an event, and I'll have like a panel of therapists. The audience can ask questions and kind of talk about the different themes. So it's just like kind of a safe space for people to have the conversations that they need to have that are
Definitely.
kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that class kind of got me, or not at the moment.
Yeah,
but
yeah, sure,
looking
sure.
back,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I'm like, okay, I think that class is what impacted
Yeah.
me and allowed me to bring like healing into the community through these type of events. Because first of all, I do love the 90s.
I think we all do, man. It's just
time.
I feel like it was maybe from like I'm gonna say like the mid '80s to like all of the '90s, pretty much. I think cool was just at its peak.
Yeah.
Like genuine, just coolness
Mm-hmm.
was through the roof, and it was just almost effortlessly. A lot of people were just like
Yeah.
everything was just cool then,
Yeah. It just seemed like so like fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And like
yeah,
there was not really a lot of like
Right.
media out.
yeah.
So I
It
think
was just a
a
vibe.
time
Yeah,
for people to just vibe out. And
longing
I
for
think
that time.
that was another aspect of me um honing in on the 90s was
Yeah.
because of that specific time period.
Sure.
Um I wanted to create and kind of emulate the same
It's like energy or
energy
essence. Yeah.
in essence, yeah, that's a good word, of what the 90s felt like.
Sure.
So it's like, what did it feel like when you were at home with your friend just talking about these conversations that you see within the films, like those themes? How did that feel? Like I kind of wanted to bring it back and feel like you're just talking with your friends.
Yeah,
with
definitely.
family,
Definitely.
sharing meals,
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's
with
that
your
kind of
support.
vibe.
Yeah.
Would you say like you're kind of like a film like head, like a film buff? Like, do you like movies a lot, or no? Not really. Like,
Really?
yeah, okay.
I kind of like the movies I like.
Yeah,
and I'll
right.
just rewatch.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm like, how many times have I seen Love and Basketball? How many times have I seen like
The Wood and all that?
Yeah, The Wood. That's such a good movie. Yes.
Yeah.
The Best Man. Like,
Yeah.
It's just the same films.
Sure.
But
yeah, no. And you're just kind of even like scaling back a little bit. I know you started a lifestyle brand with your sister at one point.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of just speak about that and just kind of what went into starting that. I know she runs it now.
Yes.
She kind of like took the helm on it, but
yeah.
Just what was life looking like for you when you and your sister just decided to start that up?
So I'm trying to even think how that even really happened.
Yeah.
I think it was just because we were both in LA at the time. Not
Yeah.
just because we were both in LA at the time, but we both had the entrepreneurial spirit.
Yeah.
Both of our great grandparents actually owned a sporting goods store in
Oh,
Philadelphia.
okay. Wow.
And they would like string rackets for Arthur Ashe, I think his name was.
Okay, I'm not familiar.
I don't know.
Tennis player, I'm assuming?
Some tennis player.
Yeah.
Because they were heavy in the tennis industry or in the tennis like world.
Okay.
So I think we both had the entrepreneurial spirit, and my dad was like just what he's like grown up to like do and stuff. Yeah. Is like in the sports world, all of that. So I was like, I don't know, like we both liked fashion. We were both in LA, but we both were at different periods in our life. But it was one common mindset, I would say.
Yeah.
That kind of brought us closer, and it was that we both like kind of ambition to kind of start something.
Yeah,
so
right.
we called it Ambition is Ageless.
Okay.
And it was the vision or mission behind it was that regardless of your age, like you can still have ambition and still go after your dreams and still accomplish the things that you want to accomplish.
Yep.
So she's really into fashion. I'm into fashion too, but not as heavily and creatively as she is.
Okay.
So she kind of wanted to make it like a fashion brand and kind of do it in that way.
Okay, got you.
And like sports lifestyle, kind of put her twist on it. So, yeah.
And then like, were you just kind of helping with like her marketing aspect, just like her kind of getting the brand out there pretty much?
Yeah, so I was doing the social media at some points and just helping her like with ideas and different things.
Yeah, aspects. Yeah. What? So when did she kind of say, or like kind of take over things, and like what made you kind of fall back?
I would say I don't even know. I want to say when COVID. Yeah. Because she was still in LA.
Oh, and then you moved back
to
the crib. Copy.
So when COVID happened, so I think that it happened in March. So I was still in LA up until May.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah.
And then when May happened, I was like, okay, I kind of want to go home. Like,
yeah.
So I went home. She kind of like took it over. I was still helping like with the TikToks here and there, but it wasn't as like frequent.
How long?
I think she saw that like.
Yeah. How long were like you both running things until that happened? Was it just like a year or two, or?
No.
Or like was it the year COVID happened?
When
you started you two started that lifestyle business?
I want to say that was like in 2018.
18. So
yeah,
okay,
so
like
a couple
2 years. Yeah, okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Makes sense. COVID again, man. That was the great reset, man. But was that your first business endeavor-ish? Like
that was my like first business endeavor.
How how was it for you, kind of you just even getting that off the ground, or just like having you and your sister just kind of have that entrepreneurial experience together?
It was different. So I don't think a lot of people, and me and my sister talk about this all the time, is that like in business, you have to separate the business from the personal.
Right.
Um, so sometimes like we would take things personal when it wasn't personal, or sometimes it would be like, okay, this is just business. You know what I mean? So figuring that out at first was kind of difficult, but now that, or whenever we kind of did figure it out, it got easier.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
So yeah,
No,
but
no.
it was cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I get
I'm a
it.
family person, so I like doing things with like my family.
I mean, that's
Starting
that's
things like that.
it's a just a crazy experience to start something with your sister, like something business wise, and then like have that be your first, just kind of try in that world, So
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad it like it ended well. Like you hear some stories where it's like I don't even talk to her anymore. It's just like God damn, like.
But I think it comes with like the understanding,
Of course, yeah.
like it's like not everything's personal.
Right.
Like some things are just business. So.
No, yeah, for sure. What would you say like that experience, if anything, kind of taught you about starting your own business, like the entrepreneurial
I honestly
life?
think it was
Yeah.
like the business and personal thing. I can take things personally a lot of the times. So even if it's not family, even if it's like a friend on the street or somebody on the street, I can take things personal. So I think it's just been like, okay, that was a business decision. It wasn't you personally. And if it was something that was personal, you gotta get over it.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
You can't just like kind of bring it in and have it ruin the
yeah,
whole
and ruin
whole
everything.
situation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause that can happen.
As far as like getting a brand off the ground, did that experience teach you anything?
Um, I'm trying to think. Like, I'm trying to remember
It was only
when.
2 years too, so.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like how it was. I think it wasn't as hard as I thought it was gonna be.
Okay.
Are you still talking about Ambition Ageless?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we were doing a lot of just social media aspects about like on it, so it wasn't, and we were connected kind of in the community, so we were sending our things to different like people
Okay.
for them to like wear and kind of promote. So we had a lot of, I would say we had a lot of support in the beginning, but I'm trying to think like we had a lot of like family and friends, yeah, that would like be buying it. It wasn't as many strangers or like like people in the street,
Definitely.
like here and there, but it would be from like word of mouth.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. So fast forward to 2024, started All Things Aligning, yeah, which is pretty crazy. What was that like? Probably you can say like what 5 years after that whole I guess experience, yeah, ish. Yeah, like what inspired you to start All Things Aligning? Like where were you at mentally when you were thinking about starting it up?
I was still in that spirit of like wanting to help people. So I did administrative work for a title company. Like
I'm sure that was tedious, man. A
yeah,
title company?
but it wasn't just a title company. She had I'm trying to think. And I forget her other business. She had like 4 other things I was running.
Yeah.
It was the best experience ever because truly within it, I think it brought me closer to God, and I think He revealed the true desire in my heart, which was to just serve and help people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was, I forgot to mention that was actually after the nannying job. That's when I went to help her, and then I went into the event coordinating um, at the organization. But lost my train of thought. What was the question?
Yeah, no, just
I'm like, what was the question?
all good. No, just just like pretty much where you were at life mentally when you were starting All Things
Oh
Aligning.
yes. Okay, sorry.
You're fine.
So I was like,
what made that experience at that job so special, and why do you feel like it made you closer to God?
I feel like it made me closer to God because at the time I was just in a place of still trying to figure myself out. And um she was so rooted in Christ that like even if you're around her, like you're going to pick up aspects of just wanting to be closer to him.
Yeah.
So ironically, I was actually watching a podcast at her house, but it had nothing to do with, like, it wasn't a Christian podcast or anything. But my friend had put me on it, and one of the girls on it she would always bring up just God and like her relationship, or just something regarding it. And I would always bring it back to her and like talk about it, and she would kind of be like, okay, but like you need to go in your Bible and make sure that it lines up with the word, so she kind of, I'm not gonna say she drew me to God, because God draws you to him, but she encouraged me and kind of guided me in my walk with him. Okay. And she still does to this day, so I'm like thankful for that. And I think that's why at the time I was calling it All Things Aligning, because I wanted to align everything. So like all the social media, align events, and align your business.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I'll just name it All Things Aligning, because all things are going to be aligned.
Got some of the alliteration there too.
Yeah, and I put an A's because it's
yeah, right.
So I was kind of feeling a little selfish with that.
No, right. It's understandable.
I caught All Things Aligning, and then now looking back, I'm like, it just makes total sense, because all things, regardless of if it's your business or your personal life, they have to align, especially if you are a Christian and you do want like your everything you do to be for the glory of him, you know what I mean? So I think it was just kind of like a revelation that God had given me after I've already named it, you know what I mean? Because they have, I think the scriptures like Romans 8:28. I could be quoting the wrong one, but it's like all things work together for his purpose, according to everyone's good. I could be saying the wrong thing, but I just know it's like all things work together for his good, according to his purpose or something like that.
Trust me, we're not going to,
forgive me,
fact check you, about that.
But that also was another thing that was revealed to me after naming it. That was that we all have to work together in the community for his purpose to be done. Right. And if we all work together, then everybody's gonna, be healed, prosper, or like be walking towards a better life. Yeah. So,
which is, I mean, that's pretty much like the nature of your whole business. So I mean, you're pretty much accomplishing the mission. Yeah. Already. So
yeah, now that's why I think it was just so crazy, because the desire was in my heart in the beginning,
right?
But it was maybe not in the way that he had planned for it to be. But that's why I think COVID was like such a reset for me, because I had to come back. Then I was like, okay, I came back. Then I met her. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, okay, now I'm going to get you on the straight and narrow path. Yeah. So you could really live according to my will.
A reset that like you didn't even know that you needed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think it was like a blessing in disguise.
Yeah. No, for sure. Again, so, I kind of had some experience about like, COVID being a blessing in disguise. So like, I definitely know what you're talking about. When you were initially, getting it off the ground, what was that experience? Like, cause like now, obviously like before it was, you and your sister, but now you got your whole business, your whole brand. And yeah, it's just kind of up to you to, to kind of make it work. So how was it navigating that for you, at least initially?
It was different because, again, I was by myself, so I would have to go to like the networking events.
Okay, yeah.
For me, and kind of like advocate for myself. And I'm already a person who I just don't like, I'm not a person who likes to talk about myself a lot. So that was kind of hard. And just, I would say being consistent, that too.
As far as, what would you say?
Like consistently just showing up for myself in that sense. Knowing that like I have to do it because it's all me. Mm-hmm. Or like if you don't advocate for yourself, who's going to do it for you, Yeah. So in that way.
Copy. Like, were you event coordinating prior to All Things? Like, did you have any events going on like before you started your business, or like when you started? Is that when that sort of picked up?
So the same lady I worked for, doing like the title, all of that stuff, she also was the youth minister I would help with at the church. So I would she had a youth night that she would do every Tuesday. So I would kind of help her plan those out,
Okay.
make sure things were running with that. But she knew that I also wanted to event coordinate, so she would kind of give me things to do on the side, like if it was her daughter's party or something like that. So she was kind of like not introducing me to the things, but allowing me to she was opening doors, I would say, maybe,
Okay.
if that's the word,
Okay. Yeah.
to the skill sets that that I had.
That you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you need some. It's just dope to have someone in your life, just like at any point in your journey, that helps you do that.
Yeah.
You
No, I'm
know?
like so grateful for her.
Yeah.
Like truly.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's the best.
Yeah. It's
Like
just
a true mentor.
you can't necessarily see all of yourself, and other people will definitely have a better perspective.
Yeah.
Because they're on the outside. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like they just have like a different perspective on you, and a lot of stuff about you could, and most of the time really does go over your head.
Yeah.
Because it's just like there's obviously like some space for self reflection and like self awareness, but again, it's just like we're only human. We can only see so much, or are willing to see like so much about ourselves. You know what I mean?
And giving yourself grace too throughout it.
Yeah,
I think that's something I learned as well.
fair. Yeah,
so
makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you think like a successful event needs from your perspective?
I would say it needs a good team who has like the same mindset or the same goal, I would say, but brings different strengths to the event,
to the table.
Yeah, to the table.
Do you work with the same team every time when you're doing your events?
I have my best friend who
Okay.
I use to. She's the only pretty much consistent person. Other than that, it's just me and then the therapist who I ask for that specific event. But it's never a consistent like person except for my best friend.
Yeah, for sure. And how? So like, at what point did they come in to help you out to start setting
Since
up
the
events?
beginning, because
Wow,
I saw not her goals, her qualities and skill sets too, and she's somebody I trust.
Okay.
So it was easy for me to be like, hey, join me.
Yeah, like did you she didn't go to school with you
No,
this year? Okay,
I
but you
grew up
just
with
met her
her
around. Okay, you grew up with her.
Yeah, I was little. Our parents were good friends.
Okay.
So yeah.
For sure. So you got things, all things aligning off the ground again. This you started in 2024, so you're going in to year 2. What about the experience of owning your own business to that capacity? Like what has this taught you so far?
That's a good question, and something I haven't really. I think about it, but not into the
fair
capacity and depth. I think it goes back to just what I said earlier with just like showing up and making sure that you're like good. Because if you're not good, how are you going to help other people,
Yeah.
And that's like what my whole business is centered around. So I think that's what businesses are centered around, not just my business, but I think people start businesses because they want to provide a need.
Yeah, right.
That they see. So I would say making sure you're okay so you can provide it in its full capacity.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You touched on it's just networking, which it is what it is. It's just it's a nature of the beast. But for someone who doesn't necessarily like it, or like it doesn't come as natural to, and being a business owner, you kind of have to do it. How do you navigate that constantly? Do you just kind of pretty much just get ready to get uncomfortable and power through it and do what you got to do?
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, this is something I have to do. So kind of getting, like you said, getting uncomfortable and setting goals that I want to like accomplish within that networking event. A friend of mine had told me that they were like, you should go into the event with 3 things that you want to accomplish. Or like things you want to accomplish, like how many people do you want to meet? Or who do you want to talk to? Things like that. So I think that has helped me, and also, if I can always go with somebody, I think that helps too.
Oh,
like if I just drag
100%,
along or something.
Yeah, sure.
But I would say mostly the goals. Having goals in my mind, because then it like forces you to accomplish that, and I'm a person who likes to check things off. So
yeah, no. I mean, makes perfect sense. Again, I get it. It's again part of the beast. I don't like the formalness of it. I just wish it wasn't so formal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
No.
again, it is what it is. I guess like you have to have, some professionalism at some point. I guess it all can't be, I mean, just
Seriously. Or if I know somebody's gonna be there that I know, I'm like, okay, I can go talk to them. Hopefully they'll introduce me to like maybe somebody. It's just
yeah,
working that
sure.
to your favor. So
So when you're working with, with a client, like with a business, how do you kind of go about diagnosing what they need?
I just asked them up front.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm just
That's
like,
hell yeah, you go.
what like kind of like support do you need?
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of tailor it to that,
Mm-hmm.
even though sometimes, well, not sometimes, but I do have like a structured system,
Yeah.
like it laid out, but I know that isn't gonna work for everybody. So I can kind of ask them like what they need or what they're looking for or what their business is about and show up in that way.
Yeah, just kind of go from there.
Yeah,
Like
go
like
from there.
was there any business or clientele that you came across that just I mean it was obviously not got to name no names something like that, but it was just kind of like a man, what do we got going on here? They just like weren't social media savvy, weren't kind of doing the things that other businesses kind of had the jump on. No, they're
I
pretty
really have never, yeah.
okay. All right, yeah,
Most of them have it like together. Some of them they just don't want to like post or they don't want to do the event coordinating. So it's like, okay, like I love that, so let me do it.
yeah.
So yeah.
Is there any just approach you have to marketing per se? Like
I would say just be truthful and tell your story.
okay,
I think telling your story really draws people in. And I think that's also why, sorry, I'm taking it back to ambition is ageless. I think that's why people connected with my sister and I because we did tell our story and we told it like from a honest perspective.
right.
And now she's telling her story as she's going through school and doing all of that. So I think telling your story and being honest and open with your audience about like what's
Is
going
like
on,
the
even if
key
it's like
to
behind the scenes, like showing like, oh, like this is behind the scenes of the podcast, like
yeah,
you know what I mean,
yeah, for sure.
so they feel included.
Right,
I think
right,
feeling included, people like to be included and seen, so making them feel like they're special.
for sure.
Yeah.
Going back to your event series.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of even go into what it took for you to kind of put those together because those are pretty layered events and they're very very dope. I love that concept honestly, and I think you pulled off incredibly well. So
Thank you.
yeah, no, absolutely. So just kind of what went into you getting out off the ground, and then the first one, what was the response kind of after that event?
I think the first one went really well. I'm sorry. Can we cut this part? Because I forgot the question.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, for sure. Just like what went into getting your event series off the ground.
Okay. So that I met with a good friend of mine and my best friends. She's like a family friend. And she was just telling me how she ran her organization because she has a nonprofit. And I was telling her my idea and she was like, okay, like, I think you should do this. I think you shouldn't do this. Have you thought about that? Like different, it was kind of more so getting the structure of how I wanted it to run, which was difficult for me because I'm like such a visionary that I'm like, oh, I see it in
Right,
this capacity and this
right.
scale, which I'm like, it could get to that at some point, but I also have to start somewhere. And since it was just me coordinating it along with my best friend, I
Yeah,
think that was kind of difficult just because there were so many little details to
sure.
it. But um,
What movie did you land on for the first of it?
love and basketball because it was
Basketball,
Valentine's
yeah.
Day.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice, nice, nice.
So I had the and yeah, so I had the therapist, but I had one therapist I had connected with before, and she kind of helped bring in the other ones as well.
Okay,
So
makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, so I think that helps too. Like
Hmm.
when you know somebody in a specific field, um, they'll gather up the people.
Of course, yeah, yeah, right. Yeah,
So
it's like friends in that
yeah, so that's
similar field.
So when that happened, I think the people loved it. They said, I don't know if you've seen it's called Tonight's Conversation. It's like a relationship podcast. Or not podcast, it's like kind of a talk show maybe.
Anyone we know who like the who hosts it?
I don't even know the man who hosts it. That was
That's
so
fair.
crazy.
Yeah.
But I guess I made it a space where people could really just talk about and ask questions regarding, even if it was their personal relationship issues, they would ask the therapist and the therapist would respond with their advice or how to handle the situation. So I think that was something that they enjoyed and liked a lot about it.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool to see.
What made you want to add the therapy aspect to it?
Just
Like
to bring
even
the
at all?
healing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I made sure that they weren't just coming to just like talk and just like fool around.
Yeah,
Fool
right.
around because they're adults. But
Yeah. Horsing around,
yeah,
you
like,
know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rapscallions and all that.
yeah, no,
That's
but you know what I
hilarious.
mean?
No,
Like
of
just
course, of
like
course, of course.
they came with an intent.
Intent, sure. Yep, absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
they came knowing that they were going to get something out of it, knowing
Yeah.
that it would bring healing or some type of
Yeah.
aspect to
Right,
them.
right,
They
right.
were
Like
getting,
some utility to the
yeah,
event. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
there were tools that were being provided. So
So, well, what was the response like after that first Love and Basketball event?
I feel like it was pretty good. I feel like they were right after the event. They were kind of asking like, "When's the next one?" So I wasn't expecting that because I was like, "Oh my gosh, like wait, I don't know." But then, so I think that was kind of cool. People enjoyed it and they thought that it was like a, cool idea, creative,
Yeah.
different, all of that.
How'd it feel for you spearheading this? Your best friend was, a huge factor in,
Yeah,
bringing it to life. But I mean, again, this is your brainchild, on your, first brand,
yeah.
event. What was that feeling like? And again, did it just pretty much strengthen your resolve and like you being in the right place, you doing what you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah, it was uncomfortable because I wasn't comfortable I'm not like I said, I'm not a talker. Like I don't like to, not that I'm not a talker because I can ramble, but
Yeah.
I'm not a like a professional public
Sure,
speaker.
yeah, yeah.
So
And like isn't like on like the top three like most feared things like people
like,
it's like public speaking or whatever.
yes,
Yeah.
but I was like, okay, if I'm being called to do this, like I have to do it regardless of how I'm feeling in the moment because it's not about my emotions. Like it's bringing healing to other people, which I've also learned throughout the year too. Is like sometimes you just got to do things and it's not always about you. It's for the people that's going to impact. So in that moment, I was like, ugh, I don't even want to talk about like, I was like, I just want to start the event. Like, I just want the event to just start and kind of like it be done with.
Yeah.
It impact the people it needs to impact. But through it, I learned that I can like that I can do it and it's not as difficult as it may seem.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the reasoning as to why I also wanted to do these events was to show people that I do event coordinate and these are the type of events that like I can do.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Have you helped anyone else in the city like set up an event yet or?
Not that I can even think
Okay.
of.
I
Not
mean
really.
soon probably. I mean like
Yeah.
it's
Well,
probably
I
gonna
helped
come
my
down.
uncle with he did an event last this like last April I want to say or something. So I helped him a little bit with that, but other than that,
Yeah.
not really.
When like do you have another event planned under the sorry, forgive me, I'm losing the name. The capsule
Of culture?
capsules of culture. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Not yet. I
Yeah.
was thinking of doing a Valentine's event, but I think I'm gonna wait until April and do another like poetry event because I did the poetic justice one and that was kind of about the grief that they were dealing with,
Okay, yeah.
bringing healing through poetry, all of
Yeah.
that. So
Are these are these events in the same space or do you just kind of like
I did them.
pick and choose your
So the
venues?
first two. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, 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 no.
First
Please cut me
two-
off.
No, sorry.
Whenever you want to cut me off, please cut me off.
No, the first two I did at a space called Be Social. It's in East Liberty.
It sounds so familiar, man.
It's social status.
Social status. Okay, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong
It's
spot.
right down the street from the Whole Foods.
Okay, all right. I know the area.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I just have probably driven like past the spot and like didn't even realize, but the name just sounded familiar to me. But all right,
It's their shoe company, but they
Okay.
have like an event space.
Copy. Okay.
So
Okay.
that's actually who I started back with when I started event coordinating.
Yeah.
But I did Be Social and then did out August Wilson.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking
Yeah.
awesome. Congrats on that.
Thank
That's
you.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
And just even with with event coordination, really just with anything event wise.
Mm-hmm.
We know that everything doesn't necessarily go off without a hitch. So I mean, just even within that first event that you were, setting up, was there any like hurdles that
Yeah, cause so we had ordered food, and some of the food like wasn't. We had ordered. So we had got some catered, and then we had also ordered some on the side, but the uh quantity of the ones that we had like got from like the store was like not enough for everybody, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
So I had to kind of figure that out. We just ended up, like making a little salad because it was like
Oh,
a kale
for
salad,
real?
I want to say, or something. It's
Okay.
like just put extra
Yeah.
kale in it.
Yeah.
But
Just
that
more kale. Yeah.
yeah, just put more stuff in
It's a
it. Like
bed of kale on it. Yeah.
just make it work.
Yeah.
Um, we had to figure out the mics because some of the mics like weren't working.
Oh man.
Um,
On the day of the event.
yeah,
Buddy. Yeah.
we were like, oh my gosh, because we
That
had all those
sucks.
therapists. But other than that,
Nah, not really. Yeah, yeah. It was
yeah.
pretty smooth.
I also it's hard for me to be like things went wrong
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, right.
So whenever I kind of like get asked that question, I'm like,
You just
I
kind of
don't know.
yeah.
Like I'm always that's like the first thing to say. I'm like I should probably stop saying I don't know because something did happen, but
Well, it's
it's
just
just I
because
don't
like
look at it in
that's what
that
I'm saying.
way.
Like you're ready to pivot. It's just like
Yeah.
the problem solving just kicks in.
Yes.
You feel me? So it's like, all right, like it's a problem. All right, fuck it, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
how are we gonna get
Yeah.
past there? Like, what are we gonna do to? You can just be like, oh, it's a problem. Like,
Yeah. Like now I just
no,
gotta
yeah,
sit in it. Okay, well the event's not
exactly.
gonna happen
Yeah,
if you
exactly.
just are sitting in it. So
Yeah, definitely.
just learning to like pivot and problem solve.
I get you. And then like I just even had this question. Just want to get your perspective on it too. So like when you started this, all things aligning, when you were building the credibility for your brand, was that something that kind of came organically from, let's just say, like your network prior, or did you like kind of have to go out and be like, here is what I can do, like pick a client and like and really just kind of turn things up for them, and then by nature of that, it kind of started,
Yeah,
rolling
I
in.
think it came by my network.
Okay, yeah, all right,
Honestly
yeah,
and truthfully, because I people knew that I could do like social media, or they knew I could do events, so they kind of just asked me to do it for them, and then I was like, oh, by the way, this I like have a business in this, so I think it came with my network and just the connections I made, and then like to start off with,
yeah.
and then
No,
once
no, of
those
course, yeah, yeah, right,
out,
yeah.
then it's like okay, now I got to go out and still go to the networking events and kind of market myself in that way. So.
Yeah. Do you like is there are there any clients that like you repeatedly work with, or is it just kind of like they work with you for a little bit and
I have some that I like repeatedly work with,
mm-hmm.
but it's not like a like a month long or not month long, like a year long thing. It'll just like
Sure.
I need you for this component,
Yeah,
for this aspect of my business, or,
yeah.
stuff like that.
What advice would you give businesses that just want to improve their marketing or like improve their social media footprint?
Mm,
Because like you already said, just kind of tell your story, like be truthful.
yeah, and including people. Like I think just like making people feel like they're a part of your business and that they've had a say in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like giving that behind the scenes look, and to being consistent.
Yeah,
That too, like consistent with your posting,
definitely.
consistent with the story that you're telling. So yeah.
No, no, yeah, for sure. I definitely feel that. Going into year two of your business, because again, like this is like pretty fresh for you. Um, what are some things that you are just super proud of after getting year one down, and what's exciting you about year two?
Mm, I would say what's exciting for year two is I think the Capsules of Culture series. I'm excited to like,
Just keep that going.
keep that going, community, bring the community together through those and healing through that and impact. And I would just say helping people more
Mm-hmm.
and supporting them in the ways that they need to be supported through my business.
Mm.
Even if it's not always like beneficial,
Yeah.
like if it's even if it's like not like always beneficial in that way, but I mean if somebody's like, I need you to do this, and I might not even have the capacity to do it, like finding
Right.
the strength to continue and carry
Right.
on through it because they need it. So I would say that's kind of what I'm excited for. And I think that's like going to be something that I'm going to just grow in as with or in as a person in,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, yeah, for
I'd say,
sure.
if that's making sense.
No, makes complete sense. How have you seen your business grow just in like the first year you've been
I would just say with
running
more
things?
people like reaching out, asking for help, and like it's kind of what we started the conversation with, like just seeing a lot of people ask for help and saying, I need this support in this way. Are you
Like
able to do it?
like you've seen people ask for help more just by way of all things aligning?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts. So like just like at the events, like when like the therapists kind of break
Yeah,
stuff
like
down.
saying like you see people become more comfortable
Hmm.
and like that their guards are kind of getting let
Coming
down.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that's like a rewarding moment
Hmm.
to see the impact that these events are having on people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What like when you were even starting this, like did you think it would resonate with people so deeply? And like, what do you think do you think it is that therapy aspect that is, resonating with people and wanting them to come back to your other events?
I think it's a kind of a combination of both. I think people want to come because it's a nostalgic thing too, like
Also
the
true, yeah.
movies,
The themes and all
the
that, yeah.
themes,
Hmm.
and then when they come, they're like, oh, okay, and I get tools to better my life and better myself. So I think it's kind of a combination of both. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel you. How again, just in 2 years of operating a business, how have you seen yourself grow?
Mm. Again, I gotta give it to God.
Yeah.
God always. I
Yeah.
didn't mean like that, but
No, absolutely.
I'm like, because you gotta always kind of be careful with what you
Yeah.
say. But I feel like I've grown closer to Him because of just the way it was just set up. And I was listening to a podcast on the way here actually, and he was talking about like it was a divine setup, or it's a divine like connect. He said divine setup, which he was meaning like you are in every moment of your life for a specific reason to lead you to the point that you're at now.
Hmm.
So I think that even me just naming it the name that I did, not even knowing like the deeper meaning behind it, like
Right.
looking back and being like, oh my gosh, there's so many connections that are faith based. It's connections that are just simple, like aligning your business, making sure you're organized in the things that you're doing, like the social media, the events, all of that. And then also even just relating it to the scripture too. So I think just growing in Him and learning how to hear His voice truthfully, because that's what allowed me to start this business to help people for His, glory.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Hmm.
So
No, for sure.
yeah.
Do you have any ideas of, an event series after capsule culture, or like are you just still kind of focusing on that right now?
I think capsules is going to be my focus right now,
Mm.
just because it's an intentional one, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And I wanted everything I do to be intentional. So, and that one brings like community together, it brings the impact, it brings the healing, it brings all of that. It brings just so many aspects of being a better person and walking your life in a better way. So I think for right now it's just going to be that, and just focusing on that and making it more impactful.
Do you have an idea of the next one, or
I think I'm going to do Love Jones.
Love Jones? Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
Because then, since I didn't do a Valentine's Day one, kind of combine the two,
Hmm.
where it's like poetry and love.
Yeah.
So kind of give it.
What so I mean, like, what can people kind of expect from a capsule culture event, if you want to kind of break down how the events go?
So it's a lot of. I would say it's kind of like a networking event in a
Okay.
way, but not as formal.
Sure.
And it's a safe space for people to come, kind of let them down their guards, let their walls down, talk about, some of the things that they're going through, have some food, talk to the therapist, maybe pick up some resources after,
Hmm.
and, just get the tools that they need to be better throughout or while touching on the themes of the movie. So some of the questions will relate to, like, we'll have a moderator, and the moderator will ask questions like, oh, well, for example, like Love and Basketball. You've seen Monica and Quincy go through this, and that. How do you like relate to it, or how does this show up in your life, or just different things? I don't know, like just different. It's a different view
Yeah.
on the everyday life.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
Is it? I mean, like, do you come up with the questions yourself, or like, is it you and your friend?
Sometimes it's just me. Sometimes it's her.
Okay.
Sometimes it's the both of us.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the moderator, because I'll do different moderators for each event.
Okay.
So
How do you find your moderators?
just friends that I know,
Friends
who
that
are
help out. Yeah.
in that specific space. So
Have you collabed with any organizations in the city at all,
mm,
or
no,
is it
not
just been
recently, yeah.
all you and just like friends that are
Yeah.
willing to help out?
So actually, well, my last event I did, it was Lean on Me, the movie with Morgan Freeman.
Nice. Yo, yeah, this is crazy because like it's just crazy that like you just brought all this to life because again like when we first met, I think you were literally just like yeah like like I want to do this thing and da 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 and it's just like now just like yeah like
It's here.
you're doing your thing.
Yeah. So I did Lean on Me, and my friend, he has a youth development program. So I had him to be the moderator.
Okay.
And he was kind of talking about.
That's kind of a tough theme though. How did you kind of
Yeah.
frame that one?
It was heavy. We had to take some breaks and pauses throughout it. 'Cause
Really?
some of the questions were heavy, but some of them were light. Like some of them he asked, like, who was your, I forget the man's name. Who was the teacher?
I forget his
But
name
they were
too.
like,
Shout out to Morgan Freeman,
yeah,
man.
shout out to him in the movie. It was great.
Yeah.
I just forget the name of the man. That's crazy.
Do you want to smoke crack, boy?
Yes. But they were like, who is your Mr. Da 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 da?
Yeah, right,
Like,
right.
who's that in your life? So some of them were light. Some of them were like, was there ever a situation where, like, it was just so extreme that you didn't know what to do? Do you think him locking the doors and chaining them, that was an extreme, or do you think that people have to take those extremes for the kids to be safe?
Yeah.
So
Was like when you were like, what was the venue? It wasn't in like a makeshift classroom or was it? What was
no, it was at August Wilson. So it was
that was the August
yeah,
Wilson
the August
joint, which
Wilson
is
one.
crazy. Okay,
Yeah.
wow, nice.
So yeah, it was just upstairs, and he was just asking the question.
Yeah, and
kind
it
of
just
set it
kinda
up
got heavy.
in rows, and made it fun. But yeah,
Does that like just even kind of asking questions like that, like setting up an event like that, kind of just even take a little bit out of you setting that up because like you're getting pretty vulnerable.
yeah, because I'm like, oh, I do struggle with vulnerability too, but I'm like, because I struggle with it, I know other people struggle with it.
100%.
So it's like, if obviously, like, well, not obviously, but just making sure that people know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
So that was, yeah, it was kind of tasking.
Definitely.
Yeah.
For someone who wants to help people, having events that you have to take breaks because people are maybe getting vulnerable for the first time in years, and just like seeing this impact that it has on like the people that go to these events. How does that feel for you again? Because again, I met you at this networking event. This was just like your brainchild that you wanted to do, and then to hear that it's just kind of impacting people this way is just awesome to hear. So how does that feel for you, just to see that effect it's having on people?
It makes my heart happy, which is like weird to say, but it's also like I understand why, because it's like this is exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's because people need like a space to just release it, to just be honest and open with themselves. Like a lot of the times they're not even honest and open with ourselves. So when you talk about it, it lifts that weight off of you. So you can like kind of let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of it's exciting for me to see the impact that it has.
Sure.
And it gives me the motivation to want to continue. Yeah.
I know that lady you were working for was, kind of like a mentor.
Yes, she still is, yes.
But like when it came to event coordination, did you have anyone kind of guide you in that realm, or was that just kind of all self-taught,
Yeah, it was all self-taught, I would say. but I was doing it since I was like little, like
Yeah.
for even friends' birthdays parties. Like my
Yeah.
friends' parents would be like, "Oh, do you want to help set up or coordinate their sweet 16 or do their wedding or something like that?" You know what I mean? So it was all kind of just self-guided.
Yeah.
And when I wanted to really sit down and structure the event series aspect of it,
Yeah.
that's when I kind of was like, okay, how do you do in a successful event? Because she has like the lady I sat down with, she has a lot of like events, and they're just always so successful. So I knew I needed more guidance on that part of it and the impact.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did you end up having that event at the Lean on Me event at the August Wilson Center? What did it take to get that venue?
So I was connected just with Cece and
Shout
Kia.
out to CC, man.
Yeah.
Big shout out to CC.
And I told her my event idea, and she was like, well, "How do we make it work?"
Yeah, yeah. I like no. I was about to say like that is such a CC conversation. She's just like, all right. I mean, all right, shit. Well, what we got to do to make this happen? Like, yeah.
Yeah, so we had a couple conversations, a couple meetings, and she was like, "I would love to support it."
Beautiful.
So we did it. Yeah, in August, I want to say, and it was actually at the same time that they were doing their what is it called?
Is it the
Intermission.
intermission? Yeah, the
So
intermissions.
intermission
Yeah.
was happening downstairs, and my friend Sydney was actually hosting intermission, and then
Cindy Davis.
mhm.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
So she was doing intermission downstairs, and then I was doing my event upstairs. Wow, she came up like halfway through, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, aren't you hosting?" She's like, "Yeah," and I was like, it was just a cool moment.
No, that no. What was like that? It makes it just
really
all
dope.
worth it. Aaryn, thank you so much for coming through, giving us a perspective on your brand, your business, you as a human being.
you.
I'm very proud of you, and just again for taking your brainchild and making it very successful event series. So it's just very dope to see. This is just a point in the pod where if you want to plug anything, let people know where they could find your page if you want to be found, the business page, anything that they could look out for from all things aligning. But the floor is yours, and you can't thank you enough for coming through. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely, definitely.
You guys can find me on Instagram. The Instagram for All Things Aligning is at All Things Aligning. The website's www.allthingsaligning.com. And then my personal Instagram is Aaryn Gianna, and Aaryn is Aaryn. So, yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
And I hope you all continue to pursue the desires in your heart, because at the end of the day, they will impact somebody, and that's why they're placed within you. So continue to live it through, even if you're uncomfortable doing it, because I was uncomfortable starting, but I knew it was for a bigger purpose. So, yeah.
There you go, man. Wise words. Listen, MIC Podcast, episode 199, where it is a master of their own creation, the wonderful Aaryn Griggs in the building, and we are out. Peace.